Hey, how you doing? My name's Dave. I hope you're having a great day so far, because this is gonna be a different type of video from what I usually post on here. And it's also something I've wanted to do for a while, for almost a year at this point, which is not a really good thought for me, as you'll figure out in a minute. Um, it's it's something very personal to me, and something that I haven't been quite able to get over. And no, nobody died, if that's what you're thinking. At least I don't think anybody did. I hope not. I know I'm not dead. Anyways, yeah, so a few years ago, I was in my sophomore year of high school in 2021. Still during COVID, we all had to wear masks and all that. Um, but it was kind of chill. Um, I didn't know many people since, the year before, my freshman year, we were all online and fucking Zoom classes, all that. But I did know some people, like a handful of people from middle school that came with me. That I only knew some of them. I wasn't really friends with a lot of them. And well, um, I'm blanking out. There was in my final period of one of these days, in August, one of the first weeks. I don't remember exactly. I was sat at the a row towards the back wall of the class. I was sat at the end of the row, and to my right there was only this girl. You probably know where this is, going. But, I didn't pay no mind to her. I thought she was just random ass girl from high school, like all the rest. Um, I thought she was one of them popular kids that would not pay me any mind at all. Um, and she didn't really unconfirm my suspicions until a lot later. But um, can I? Thank you. So we were doing an activity that our teacher made us do, and she said turn to a partner, and I was like, fuck, I'm gonna have to talk to this bitch. I didn't say that. I didn't say that, and I didn't think that. I'm just, it's just, yeah, it's just never mind. But yeah, no, I didn't think she was a bitch or anything like that, obviously, because I didn't know her. I just thought she was just a girl. I didn't, see her as anything, other than just a classmate. And so I turned to try to talk to her because we had to for the activity, and she turns immediately to her right. Um, is that no? Oh Jesus Christ! And I'm just sitting there like, oh, so it's like that. Damn. All right, fuck you. And so I basically, the things I thought about her, only just my suspicion just kind of grew more. Yeah, that was one event. That was my first impression of her. You know, uh, Later on throughout the year, she would constantly, poke and prod at me physically and metaphorically. You know, she would, during class, she would show me this little keychain plush on her bag. And, I would just say, I know this is what I said. I remember it, because you know, it was rude of me. Every time she showed it to me, I would just say, oh, that's weird. Or, she's weird, something like that. No, not she. I don't remember. I don't remember exactly. But it was definitely something that had the word weird in it. But every time she showed me something, I would either just brush it off or say, that's weird. You know, so I wasn't really, that approachable, but she kept trying. And eventually, I started to warm up to her. Where did I leave my crafting table? I probably already fucking left it behind over there somewhere. It's over here, isn't it? No, no. Anyways, yep. Started to warm up to her, and she poked and prodded at me, quite literally, with a pen. We would just play fight with each other. Kind of teasing each other. Not, romantically. Just kind of playfully as friends. Until I started to catch feelings. And I wasn't okay with that. Since I tried so hard to avoid, you know, being close to her at first. Since I would just try to ignore her the best I could. And then, that changed when we actually became friends. Why is it still so loud? Anyways, yeah. I was having trouble coming to terms with the fact that I started liking her. Because didn't, I didn't want to. I didn't want to rebound to her. Because that's unhealthy. And if you don't know what rebounding means in, dating terms, it's when you hop from one relationship to another almost immediately. And oh, you're 14, 15. Why should you worry about that? Well, I was 14, 15. And that's exactly the reason why I didn't want to rebound. Because I was still so young, and I felt so hurt from the previous relationship. Um, oh, what the fuck? Okay. I don't know why oh god. Oh, what's happening to me? I'm having I just ignored Iron. That's because I'm focusing on what I'm trying to talk about. Anyways, yeah, anyways, I didn't want her to be hurt by me. I didn't want to get hurt by her either. And I, I was in denial about liking her, and then somebody told me after I talked to them about her. They told me, oh, maybe she likes you back. Since she pokes and prods at you with a pen and fucking stabs the shit out of you, teases you, play fights with you. And that just kind of it just kind of set my mind and holy fuck! Holy shit! That just kind of solidified my stance on how I felt about her. On, liking this girl. I never did anything. We were still friends for throughout the few years of high school we had left. I did, um, I think that sophomore year, I think I did ask her if she wanted to go to the musical with me. I didn't ask her like out like as a date. It, she probably thought that, but I thought oh we could go as friends and I could get to know her a little bit. But she probably did think I was asking her out on a date, but she said no. Um, but I was kind of oblivious to the fact that she probably thought it was a date asking out. Anyways, I didn't really do much until shit, was it senior year? It was senior year, I think. Yep. Because this happened last year. Wait, shit, no, was it? Yeah, it was last year. Wait, no, it wasn't last year. It was 2 years. Fuck. Oh, God. 2 years ago, yep. Senior year, the beginning of senior year. I asked her if she wanted to go to this event with me called the Feast of Lanterns. And she agreed. It was our first time hanging out outside of school. And I was ecstatic. I... One thing though, she did ask me if she could bring some of her friends along. And I'll update you on that later after I finish this arc of the story. So she brought her friends with, or she was supposed to bring one friend, but that friend brought another. And that just it didn't really ruin it for me. It just kind of made me feel off. I didn't say it was a date or anything, but I wanted it to be. But can't do that when there's 3, 4 people, you know. Me, her, and the other 2 friends. Yeah. But we had a good time. We had a great time. It was one of the best days of my life to that date. Um, it was a day where I actually felt genuine happiness, and the worries I had previously were not gone, but they were mostly just sidelined. This is senior year. I grew as a person, all that. Um, well, I am recording, yeah. Um, yeah, that was a great day, and I told her, hey, if you want, we could do this again sometime. And she agreed, but it wasn't a date. We were just hanging out as friends, and that was the start of um that was the start of that. Because before we were just friends from school, but then that little hangout at the Feast of Lanterns, oh my God, and she was beautiful that day. She was absolutely stunning. She dressed up really nicely. Which I'm flattered she did that for me, I guess. Even though at the time she didn't have feelings for me. I know spiders come for me right here, but you know, I'm kind of flattered she dressed up for me. She was wearing a nice little corset and skirt. That's purple. Purple corset and skirt. I remember it. They had like stars on it. I do believe. Um, I don't know. She was really pretty. And I did compliment her on you know, I said, "Oh, I like your dress." I had to build up the courage to say that, by the way. Um, and she said, "Oh, it's a corset and skirt," but thank you, something like that. She didn't say it that bluntly. And then, you know, her friend comes out of nowhere and says, "Oh, I'm wearing a dress too." And, you know, me being the gentleman I am, I said, "Oh yeah, yeah. Oh my God, you, oh yeah, you're, I like your dress too." Um, You know, it was a nice dress. It had dinosaurs on it too. I remember. I have great memory, by the way. Great long-term memory. Um, yeah, that was that day. That was an amazing day in my life. I still remember it fondly. Um, I bought her gifts. I bought her food. I think. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I bought her food. Yeah, definitely bought her food. I think. What kind of man would I be if I didn't? Um, I need to make torches. Wow, my crafting table, I left it again. I'll just make a new one. And, hello? Did I not, what? Did I not grab the coal? Um, yeah, well, you know, a little bit after that, a few days after that, I think, I asked her if she wanted to go to Starbucks with me. Very cliche coffee date type of, you know, um, thing, you know? But she declined that. Um, it was fine though. And then a few months later, like we, I asked her if she wanted to get ice cream with me, and she said yes. And we started hanging out semi-regularly with school happening and all. We, oh God, this was such a great time in my life. We went out and got, you know, ice cream. We went and just did things downtown. Not really dating, but just as friends, and it didn't really matter to me what we were. I just, despite the way I felt, but, you know, it was an amazing time for me. And, you know, one time when we went out, we went downtown into Memorial Square in the city. Um, and some other couple saw us sitting by the Memorial Square in Indianapolis, by the way. Um, some couple saw us sitting down by the water area. I mean, there's like it's like a fountain, kind of sitting by it, and just like toying around with each other. She bought some like ramen band-aids, and we bought some like some drinks as well, like some Japanese soda thing. Um, and we were playing around with those band-aids, and then we got up from there, and you know we started walking towards like, you know, I suggested we got sushi, so we started walking towards the sushi place, and this couple just sees us walking by, and they say, "Oh, you guys look so cute and wholesome over there." They were smoking. They were chiefing that shit. They said, "Oh, you're so cute and wholesome over there. You look so cute and wholesome." And you know, my dear friend there, she said, "Oh, thanks." And we talked for a bit there, and they thought we were dating, which really, like, that felt like a gut punch to me. I'll be honest, but it was also nice, to see that people would consider us a good couple. Um, and then she said to me, "Oh, those people were so nice. They said we were wholesome. I can't believe they said we were wholesome. What is this? Hello?" I was like, yeah. She left out the cute part. I think intentionally, because she knew we weren't dating, and she didn't want to, like, kind of, what I mean. But, yeah. And then later that day, we still we were out until the sun went down, the moon came up. Um, we bonded a little bit at a little table before we left. She told me about her issues, and I sat there and I listened to her. And I just, oh goodness gracious, I couldn't stop thinking about what a wonderful person she was. And God, and I just thought about how much I wanted to keep her happy, make sure she was happy, if I could help it. Um, so there's, I won't disclose anything of what she said, but it's was that? Oh, that was. Oh, that was. Was that before or after? Our we went to a concert together. I asked her out in like October of 2023. Yeah, that our the beginning of senior year ish. If she wanted to go to a concert 6 months from now, that's a reference to a song, by the way. Not of the artist that of the concert we went to, but that's a reference to a song. If you know, you know. And she said yes, because I knew that we both listened to that same artist. I knew her interests. I knew I knew a lot of things about her, and I was still learning a lot of things about her. Um, and she said yes, and that, oh God, the feeling in my stomach while I waited for her to answer, because I had to kind of ask her twice. She said she was at a musical practice, something like that, play practice. Um, because she was in theater. Um, oh, yeah, and I don't know if she was trying to avoid answering the question, but yeah, she did say yes. She was probably debating, honestly. Yeah, she said yes. I felt so incredibly happy that she said that. And that was before I asked her to hang out that second time to get ice cream. That was in October. That was after the Feast of Lanterns. Yeah, and that concert was in April, and it was such a good time. I every day I spent with her was always such a blessing. And there's nothing I would change about it. She was, she was amazing. Yeah, we had that concert. We had so much fun. Um, she witnessed me screaming the lyrics to every song. Um, you know, and she started to, trust me more, open up to me more during that time. I used to be the PvP god of Minecraft. I don't know what happened to me. Yes, um, she was opening up a lot to me at that time, being a lot more friendly to me at that time, and I was being a lot more confident at that time, cause I built up the courage to do more, like, than just sit there and be her friend from afar. And then prom came, and I made it my goal to dance with her. Because the previous year I hadn't gone to prom, and because I was at a festival thing, um, and I won an award for it. So, yeah, not to brag, but yeah, I made it my goal to dance with her. I was too chicken to ask her out, but nobody else did. I probably should have. I wanted to. And nobody. I don't think anybody asked her at the prom the year before. But that doesn't really matter. What time is it? Anyways, yeah. I went to prom, and I met her there. I saw her there, and she looked gorgeous, like absolutely beautiful. I get it's like, oh my goodness gracious. Wearing a stunning purple dress. Her hair was immaculate. She had these earrings, this necklace. Really, really nice and flowy dress. And I think I just I think my heart, like, it just kind of started beating like 1,000 beats a second there. I got there like kind of right as she did, and we were standing in line to enter the place, and I was just standing behind her in line, and just kind of like, holy shit, she's beautiful. Like, oh my goodness gracious. Um, not creepily, like I was just staring at her. I was just like, oh fuck, I really have to. I have to dance with this lady, and she's really pretty. I'm scared. Um, oh goodness gracious. And throughout almost the entirety of prom, I sat and just contemplated when I should do it, and if I will actually do it, because I wanted to. I really did. I really wanted to, but I didn't know if I could. So I sat there, and she did approach me a few times, and I did sit with her a few times, like at a table with a group of her friends. And she asked me, "Hey, why don't you dance?" And I was like, well, I only slow dance. And you will see this as a fumble, and I kind of did too. It was kind of a fumble there. But I was waiting for a slow song, for a slow dance, and there kind of weren't many other than these fuck ass Ed Sheeran songs that they always play at these fucking proms. Oh yeah. Um. Yeah. I was just. I didn't do much during prom. Until nearly the end, when I was at the main little dance floor, just kind of on the sidelines watching. And then she spotted me, and I guess she remembered what I said earlier, because it was a slow song, and I, my heart kind of dropped when she stared at me, and she kind of like waved me over. Um, so I made sure she was alright with the fact that I was holding her hand, and I had my hand on her back, in dancing position. Obviously, I made sure she was alright with that, because I'm a gentleman, and she was, and oh my goodness gracious. Oh yeah, before we did that, I asked my friend, do you think she likes me? And what are these? He said, she will if you tell her, like something like that. Like tell her that I, like her, whatever. Um, but anyways, yeah, back to the dance. And we danced. I we didn't really do like complicated type of slow dance. It was just kind of step, 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 step. But the right kind of position for it. Stance, whatever. I I I held her hand to my heart, I think. I had my right hand hold hers. I forget how to properly dance, but yeah, I had her hand on my heart and my hand on her back. I didn't have it on her waist or her ass or anything, because I'm a gentleman. And it's also fucking a school prom, so I'm not gonna be that provocative. Yeah, we danced, and my friend that I was talking to earlier that knew since sophomore year that I liked her, he was dancing with his girlfriend, and he looked at me. He just kind of we kind of smiled at me, and I got embarrassed, and I said, "Fucking Isaac." And she's like, "Oh, screw him." I don't know. That might have just been the peak of everything that had ever happened to me at that point. At that point, um, yeah, we danced for a bit, and then I was happy. I so many thoughts, so many emotions, so many. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I did what I didn't think I could. Um, and I danced with that lady that I liked. The pen lady is what I called her, since she always stabbed the shit out of me with pens. Why did I even pick this up? um, fucking no. This is gonna be my home. Oh, I took the bed. Oh yeah, by the way, I was wearing a nice little white suit. White, not even a tuxedo, honestly. You know, white suit and pants, and nice, I forgot what color my tie was. I don't know. I was looking amazing, honestly. And, yeah, I didn't think I'd dance with her, but I did. And honestly, bravo to me. Because, oh, I took my pants off. Because I didn't think I would get that far. Why is there a baby on your back? I'm out of here. Oh, you know, I like to think that everybody who saw us dance there just kind of stood there in awe. Because I'm pretty sure the entire fucking school knew I liked her. And yeah, she definitely did, because she told me later. But that's later on in the story, so you don't get to know that yet. Um, yeah, I like to think that everybody just stood there and was like, "What the fuck?" in disbelief. Oh shit, finally did it. Ow, fuck. Is that a baby? Shit. I'm gonna go to sleep on. Yeah. After prom was over, I I took a heart balloon. They let me take a heart balloon home. Giant ass heart balloon. It's deflated now, but I still have it in my room somewhere over the rainbow. Yeah, I went home. I laid on my bed, still wearing my little suit, and I smiled. And I just giggled to myself like a little schoolgirl. And I fell asleep. And when I woke up, still wearing my fucking fit, I knew it was not a dream. And that was a day. That was a day. That was... I have never felt so happy in my life. Um, when I danced with her there, my heart was beating 1,000,000 miles per hour, per minute, per second. She could probably feel my heart beat out of my chest since her hand was literally on my chest, right above my heart. Um, it was just, it's a moment I'll never forget. It was a moment where I found out that I didn't have to be afraid. I just had to go for it, you know? Because not everything will turn out, you know, the way, well, the way you think, obviously, but if you think something's gonna turn out bad, you won't know for sure until you try. Um, so, oh yeah, let me tell you about homecoming as well. You know, that's before prom, but same year, I think. Um, she asked me if I was gonna be there, or I asked her first, and she asked me if I was gonna be there. And she, you know, she said she said she was gonna be there. I said I was gonna be there, and then all that. I was at a football game. Uh, you know, and then she had concerns that this kid that was creepy and weird was gonna be there. Some kid that cat called her a lot. Just was a weird motherfucker. Um, so I told her I'd be there for for that. And God, that day she also looked fucking amazing. Since it's a homecoming dance, she always looked amazing, no matter what. Every single day she was beautiful to me. But I was there for her. And luckily, that guy didn't try anything, but you know, I was there to white night and all that, you know? Because, you know, I felt that she, you know, needed my support there. And you know, that's pretty much that kind of, you know. That was kind of the main part of that motherfucker. Yeah, and fast forward after prom. Oh yeah, after prom was that hangout I told you about where we got called cute and wholesome. Then just regular hangouts almost every week. Sometimes it would even be twice a week. Um, and that was enough for me. Just seeing her, being with her, and we wouldn't even just talk then. We'd play games together as well. And we'd be in a Discord call together as well while we played games. But yeah, that same year, that last year, 2024, we got closer than ever. You know, it was amazing. I, there's so many times where I wish I told her so many things. You know, we did ooh, iron. Um, we did date. We did get together. Um, I did get rejected once. Um, actually, like seriously, when I actually asked her out, like straight up, I did get rejected once. But then one day she told me she thought she might have felt the same about me. And my God, the amount of happiness that hit my soul. We were watching a movie online with a few of our online friends. um, so she texted me that. She didn't tell me that with her own voice or anything. She sent me the text saying that, you know. And you know, not the way I would have done it. Actually, that is the way I did do it, but kinda. But it didn't matter to me. Okay, it didn't matter to me as long as, you know, It didn't even matter if I dated her. To me, I just wanted to be there for her. Just give her the world. But yeah, that I was in heaven. Everything was going right for me. And ooh-wee, how how good I slept that day. You would not believe. Oh, we planned out another date. We were gonna see each other the day the day after that. We planned that before she even said that to me. Um, because we were having movie nights kind of regularly at that point at her house, and we had a movie night planned for that day after. Um, the day after what she told me how she felt, and the way she asked it too was if I still had feelings for her. You know, I said yeah. And then she said, yeah, I feel that way about you too. I think. And fucking, that might have been the best day of my whole life that day when I went over to her house. Our second first date. Um, we watched a movie we were that, yeah, before that part of the story, I tell you that part of the story. I went and bought her, gifts, um, that same day, before the date happened. I went and I bought her some gifts. I bought her, I don't know if it was like one or two pairs of earrings, and it was the kind of earrings that she could actually wear, cause I remembered, cause she there was a specific type of earring that she couldn't wear, cause I think it like stained her ear and she didn't like that. And oh, that's a slime. And I got her that specific type of earring, and doesn't it was so it was a pretty set of earrings too. It cost me quite a bit of money. Not too much, but like it was a good set of earrings. It was really pretty as well. It was purple, but they were like little purple gemstone kind of ish earrings. Um, I don't know why I didn't talk about the first time I actually asked her out like properly. I was going on a vacation to California, and I was like, I might as well, this was when we were already regularly hanging out. This was after our graduation from high school. Um, like early June, I asked her. Whew, I built up the courage. I was like, hey, when I get back, do you maybe want to go out on a date? Maybe? She agreed. So yeah, I guess I didn't really get rejected of the date, but you'll learn a little bit, a bit. But I didn't get rejected on the date, and so we went on a date to a cat cafe. And honestly, she's always stunning. She's just amazing. Um, fuck, you know, something about that day just made me fall so head over heels. You know, it was a successful date. Ish. I took her to the fucking Subway to eat, um, which I regret that because that kind of fucked it up a little bit. But it was a successful-ish date. We had fun, but it just kind of felt as if it was just one of our hangouts as friends. Because I wasn't really all that bold, and she didn't really feel the same way that I did at that point. So she said that we probably weren't gonna date, and I was alright with that. You know, we still hung out regularly after that. And then, okay, back to the actual date where she started feeling the same. Um, I bought her a candle. I bought her earrings. Was that all I bought? I don't remember. I bought her ramen earrings, I do believe, as well. Or that might have been for the other date that I did that. I don't know. Yeah, for that other date at California, I found a nice little gift shop, and I said, you know, this would be perfect to get things for her. I bought her a bunch of fucking stickers that I knew she would love, and she did. I bought her earrings, and some of them she couldn't wear because I didn't know about, you know, the earring thing. But I bought her little ramen earrings, I'm pretty sure. I think. And some little, like, eighth note earrings. And those were cute. But, you know. These fucking slimes. Hold on, I'm gonna slime them out. What in the fuck? I heard a creeper. Fuck that. Yeah, that day, that second first date, we sat on her couch and we watched movies and oh my god, you know, I rested my head on her shoulder and she rested hers on mine. Oh my god, I didn't even, oh, there's another diamond there, what the fuck? What's wrong with me? Before that date, before she even asked me out, um, we were out and about. We went to go get boba, which was a thing we were doing regularly at that time. All we did was go get boba and walk around downtown and the little area where she sort of lived. Um, and we used to get boba all the time. And that day, that one day in you know, one day like a week before she asked me out, we went and did that. And it was cold and she was in pain, but she was doing a tarot reading for me outside for some reason because we didn't want to go inside. Oh yeah, because I couldn't go inside because her roommate's dogs and cats would have gone crazy, and we were waiting for me to go get picked up since I didn't have my license at the time. Um, Yeah, we were waiting for me to get picked up. I told her she could go inside, but she didn't. She stayed out with me. So she did a tarot reading for me, and hold on. I'm sorting all this, so I don't really have brain power. Um, did tarot reading for me. She said it said something about past trauma, um, manipulation, something like that. Um, something. I don't remember the rest. Successful future, something like that. Um, yeah. We sat there and we did that tarot reading, and then she got so cold and she was so in pain, and I offered for her to just put her head on my shoulder and just kind of rest for a bit and, feel my warmth. And she did exactly that. She put her head on my left shoulder, right next to my heart, and she sat there and she cried on my shoulder. And I sat there and I kind of held her and I stroked her hair, and that was a good time right there. I think that might have been what influenced her to ask me out. Anyways, later we we hung out regularly, and then she asked me out. Or no, we didn't hang out regularly after that, cause after that was the date, which we didn't know was gonna be a date. Um, like, you know, um, I'll talk about this in the next one since this one's getting really really long. It's 57 minutes right now, and it ends automatically at 60 minutes. So anyways, I'm gonna end this here. You're an amazing person, and I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you later. Bye bye.